and welcome. We are in the last week of March and I'm finally starting seed sowing in earnest. I have been desperately holding back, trying not to start things off too early, so I won't run into the problem of having lots of young tender plants desperately in need of more space and it being too cold to plant them outside yet. So here we are, the last week of March, and I'm going to plant lots of seeds. This year I shall be planting my standard regulars of peas and sweet corn, tomatoes, lettuce. I actually planted pea seeds a couple of weeks ago. They're doing really well. So these are the peas I planted, I don't know how long ago now, 2 weeks. And I've got one tub of short stocky peas and one tub that's growing very long and straggly, desperate to be planted out in the polytunnel. I just haven't got round to it yet. They've been under exactly the same conditions and were planted at the same time. But these little short stocky ones are Kelvin's Wonder, and these long straggly ones are Early Onward, which is the difference in the pea varieties that has given me this different growth habit. They're doing great. I just need to desperately get these planted out. Surprising what a difference it can make, the different varieties. One short and stocky and the other one long and wispy. They'll both produce lovely yummy peas to eat though. I really must get those long leggy ones planted in the ground and tied up onto some sticks and trellising. They desperately need it. So besides my normal vegetable growing, my main priority focus this year are more flowering plants to fill new flowery garden space that I am creating. Long term, I'm hoping to fill my new garden beds with perennial flowers. I've already started lots of perennial flower seeds. I planted them a couple of months ago in little pots outdoors in the polytunnel. They need that cold winter air. So when this warm spring comes, they know it's time to germinate. I have a couple of seeds left over from that though. I've got some more Veronica I'm going to plant today and see if it'll germinate indoors, even though it's not quite as cold. So I'll be interested to see how these get on. I do have lots of Veronica, thankfully, that has germinated from my polytunnel sowing, but there's no point wasting the seeds. I'd rather get them planted than have them hanging around in this pack. And I've also got some Rebecca that I'm going to plant today. Now I have two more interesting seeds from my perennial plants that I'm planting. I've got an allium, a Christophil? Yes, Christophil. Allium Christophil. Oh, let me show you the packet picture. There we go. Now this does need a cold stratification to get it to germinate, but it also needs to be not just the seed that's cold, it needs to be in cold, damp soil. So I'm going to plant these in a little propagating tray and put the whole thing in the fridge for the next week. I'm not sure if 1 week is enough cold for it, but that's all it's going to get. Again, there are some of these already planted in pots in the polytunnel, but they've been there for a couple of months. Haven't seen any popping up yet. I may just have to be patient and wait. It's not warm enough to set them off. So I'm going to try a few indoors in the house as well. A couple of different varying approaches. See if we can get some to germinate. And lastly, on the interesting flowery plants, let me get this name right, Geranium madurensis? I'll type it on the screen. So here's its packet picture. The The interesting thing with this one, I do have 2 seedlings already germinated from my outside sowing, cold winter polytunnel sowing. So I have 2 germinated seeds and one has started to show its true leaves. So it's doing quite nicely. But on this packet of seeds, I noticed this morning, at the bottom of its growing instructions, etc., it says, please let us know if you have one in flower, as we would like to have the seeds. Now, I've never seen that written on anything before, and it caught my attention. So I thought, oh, either it's very difficult and tricky to get it to flower, or it's a bit of a rare plant and they're trying to expand its possibilities. I really don't know. I'm not expecting it to flower till next year, if it flowers at all. So it'll be interesting to follow this seed and see how it gets on. So what else am I planting today? Lots of dahlia seeds. Now, as you may know, if you've watched my previous videos, I have quite an abundance of large dahlia tubers that will be getting planted out into the flowery meadow space this year. But I'm also going to plant lots of dahlia seeds. I don't expect these to make big dahlia plants, and I'm only treating them as an annual. I'll plant the seeds this year. Hopefully the plants will grow and flower, and if the winter kills them off, well, it kills them off. And if they come back next year, bonus. So more dahlias. What else have we got here? And lots of sunflowers, because I really like sunflowers. So I have lots of different varieties of sunflower. I have tall yellow ones, red ones, and one I plan to plant most of is a short sunflower that has a large head. I was kindly given seeds by my brother a couple of years ago from his short sunflower with a large head. So last year I grew my own short sunflowers with large heads using his seeds and harvested lots of seeds from mine. So I'm going to plant more of those. I have some red sunflowers that have a very black seed. Some standard big yellow sunflowers that should get pretty tall. And an interesting one. I've got 3 very white sunflower seeds. Oh, again, show me up close. There. Sunflower seeds are generally black and white stripy, like little zebras. So I'm not really sure why those seeds are very, very white. And I don't know what sort of sunflower it came from. I'm assuming a yellow one, but whether it was a big flower or lots of little flowers on one sunflower stalk, I don't know. They're fat, chunky sunflower seeds. It was the white colour that obviously took my eye when I harvested them from my own sunflowers. I have no other information with this little pack of seeds. Just sunflowers, white seeds. So lots of different sorts of sunflower seeds. Mostly harvested from my own sunflowers on previous growing years. Anything else planting today? Yes, a few vegetables. I've just been outside and planted my carrot seeds. We are due rain for the next couple of weeks, which will be perfect to get these germinated. Carrot seeds like a nice damp compost that doesn't dry out, just to get that germination going. Once they're germinated, no plant likes to dry out, but they can cope with slightly drier weather. But to get good germination, you need to keep your carrot seeds damp. So it's due to rain for the next 2 weeks, so that'll save me a lot of trouble. The weather can do it for me. So I dashed out in a dry spot this morning and got them planted. So here I am out this morning planting my carrot seeds. It's pretty windy out here, so I'm going to voice over the video. I've already been at this bit of bed, pulled out the odd weed and just ruffled up the surface. And now using my finger, dragging through the top to make stripy lines to put my carrots in. They're pretty close together. I generally find it's absolutely fine. Now carrots are tiny, tiny seeds, so getting them spaced out is a bit of a nightmare. You tend to sow a bit too thick, and you can thin them out once they start germinating. Now to just lightly dust that soil back over them, cover them up. Once I've finished sowing seeds, I'm going to cover the area with some stiff wire netting. This keeps my cats off, as well as any other wildlife that might want to be scratching about in this nice soft fluffy soil. Amongst my vegetable seeds starting today, I'm going to start some cucumbers and some dill. And maybe some lettuce. I'm not sure. I think I might just direct sow my lettuce this year rather than starting in little pots. So I'll see what I decide. Not sure about that one yet. So let's get this lot sown. I'm going to start with the dahlias and sunflower. Well, I think that's it for today. Hopefully a little short video. I just wanted to update you with the seeds I'm planting, the fact that I'm planting anything at all. So we're in the last week of March and I'm seed sowing in earnest. A seed I haven't mentioned today yet is tomatoes. I think I'll plant those today as well. Pop them in the propagator nice and cosy and get them started. Definitely tomato seeds to go with those cucumbers. That'll be perfect. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time. As ever, remember, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.
If you've enjoyed today's video, click that like button and let me know. Click subscribe and YouTube will make sure you see my next video. Bye for now and thanks for watching. And remember, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.